This is The Wire for 2300 Zulu, February 5th, 2026. Precedence is routine. Information cutoff is 2200. Bottom line up front. Arizona police helicopter crashes during small arms engagement in Flagstaff. More details emerge regarding Chinese biolab in Vegas. On the home front, more details have come to light regarding the Chinese biolab discovered in Las Vegas a few days ago. After the story became public, several eyewitnesses have come forward to local media groups with additional testimony that provides more context. One of the housekeepers that serviced the Vegas residence where the biolab was discovered had actually previously reported the facility to the FBI on January 9th of this year. Per this testimony, herself and several other cleaning staff members became severely ill after working at the residence back in April of 2025. Analysts comment. Eyewitness testimony must always be considered with a grain of salt. However, if this report is accurate, the FBI would have been aware of this facility and the fact that random people were being infected by whatever biological materials were there for much longer than they let on. In Arizona, early this morning, a downed aircraft incident was reported as one Arizona DPS helicopter crashed in the vicinity of an active shooter situation. The incident began as officers responded to a call of domestic violence on West Shelley Lane at approximately 8:31 p.m. last night. As officers arrived on scene, the suspect engaged the officers with small arms fire, which kicked off a protracted small arms firefight that continued over the next 2 hours. During this time, the suspect fired upon officers from multiple rooftops throughout the area, maneuvering between multiple positions throughout the engagement. Approximately 2 hours into the firefight, an Arizona DPS helicopter, registration November 56 Alpha Zulu, callsign Ranger 56, arrived on scene to assist officers on the ground in understanding where the suspect was hiding. Shortly after the helicopter arrived on scene, the aircraft crashed in the elevated terrain a short distance from the initial reported shooting location. Both the pilot and the onboard paramedic were killed in the crash. The initial suspect that began the engagement was arrested at almost the same time as the crash and has been hospitalized with non-life-threatening small arms wounds. Analyst comments for this wire. So far, official statements by the Arizona Department of Public Safety don't confirm exactly what happened regarding the helicopter crash in Flagstaff last night. No answers were provided during this morning's press conference, nor was any causal link mentioned between the engagement on the ground and the helicopter crash. Since the crash itself was catastrophic, it will take some time for an investigation to determine if any small arms rounds struck the helicopter or not. It would not be the first time that hardened criminals, when backed into a corner, fired off a burst of small arms fire at a police helicopter, which resulted in catastrophe. Considering the detail of the suspect being located on rooftops during this engagement, this is the most likely theory at the moment. Otherwise, there is not much information in the public realm to state with confidence that this is exactly what happened. The ADSB feed of the flight path does not provide much context other than one detail which might be useful for investigators. As the aircraft arrived on scene, the pilot began a low-pass flyover of the target compound directly over the residence that the shooting was reported at. After this low pass over the target compound, the aircraft was observed climbing out to the north and west before flying in an erratic manner. Locals reported hearing many gunshots and explosions in the general direction of this residence shortly before the helicopter was observed crashing. Immediately before impact, the ADSB feed for the aircraft abruptly halts, indicating that the aircraft at least partially broke apart before impacting the ground. From the time of the low pass, where small arms fire may have damaged the aircraft, to the very last transponder ping, approximately 10 minutes had elapsed. This is enough time for a mayday call to be made over the radio, if the crew noticed that they may have taken effective ground fire. As such, the flight data recorder information for this period of time will be crucial for determining the cause of the crash. However, due to the strategic implication of an aircraft possibly being shot down by small arms fire, it would be prudent to consider this a possible Sapphire or surface-to-air fire incident at the present time. This concludes the wire for 2300 Zulu, February 5th, 2026.